Nothing went according to plan in this home birth. Apparently none of my births go according to plan. I was going to be at home and I was planning on having a water birth. Okay, everybody, what's good? I am finally going to be telling my story, my birth story on when I gave birth to Aria. It was my first home birth, and it was also a Vbac, which, if you don't know what that is, it's vaginal birth after C-section. With my first child, Zara, I went into the hospital. I had plans to have a natural birth in the hospital, but turn of events, I had a C-section. And so for my next birth, I really, I wanted to have a Vbac, but we were having trouble finding a doctor that would do that. And so it ended up, I chose to have a midwife come to my home, and that is where I gave birth to Aria. Birthing corner, we decided that we're going to go ahead and have it in our room. So, because it's a pretty big space for it. So my vision for this, you guys know that I'm not the most creative person, but hopefully it will look good. It already looks kind of good with the light. Lights make everything look good, but I'm just going for like a serene look with lights and affirmations. And so we wanted to share this with you guys, us making it, and yeah, we're almost there. Okay, so it's not really done, but basically we have just affirmations. We put our affirmations in our scriptures. We are going to finish up tomorrow, but I just wanted to show you guys that. Wow, you guys, looking at these videos of me, I could tell I was over it by now. I was over it. Just out here walking, enjoying one of the last couple of days before this baby comes, hopefully. Trying to walk to get the baby out, but I'm not walking very fast, so
trying to get that baby out.
We'll see. Okay, so here's the story. So I had been in labor for a couple of days. So I started having contractions Sunday in church, and they were not consistent. They were on and off for 2 whole days. So Sunday and Monday, I was having contractions. I was already overdue because this baby was due in January. What day was she born? I don't remember her due date. Anyways, so she was like, I was almost 41 weeks, I think. Was already in labor on and off for Sunday and for Monday. I was walking. I was doing everything that I can. But my kids just don't like coming out of my stomach because Zara was also late, and I was doing all the things, eating all the stuff, drinking all the teas, doing all the exercises. Nothing worked. These kids do not care. They just want to be in my stomach. So Tuesday hit, and my doula, I had a doula and a midwife. So my doula was like, let me come over and do some exercises with you. You've been having these contractions. Let's see if we can kick it up and kick you into labor by doing exercises. So I was like, okay, cool. So my midwife was also like, let me come over and check you, because I had some fluid and I wasn't sure if it was like my water breaking or slowly. I wasn't sure what was going on. So my midwife was like, and I'll check you. Okay, so they both got there around, well, my doula got there first. And we did some lunges, we did some walking steps, we did stretches, we did like all kinds of stuff, right? My midwife comes, she checks me, she's like, yeah, you're dilated like 4 centimeters. But I wasn't really effaced. So, I believe I'm remembering this correctly, because like I said, it's been 1.5 years already. So my memory on fine parts is a little whatever. But anyway, so she said, you're 4, dilated, so we should be seeing a baby. Like I expect to get a call from you sometime during the night. maybe like after midnight on into the next morning, and you know, we should be whatever. I was like, okay, cool. So before they left, my doula was like, okay, we've done a lot of these exercises and things. And she's like, I think you just need to rest. Because I was really anxious at this point. If anybody, you guys out there know that when you're waiting on your baby and they're late, or you're just waiting in general, and you're having contractions, but they're not consistent, it's really, it brings on anxiety, because you're like, okay, I just want something to happen right now. So she was like, you just need to rest. And I was like, okay. So she sets me up in bed. She props my feet, my legs in a certain position. Guys, I was chill, right? They were like, okay, so we're going to go and, yeah, we're going to keep an eye. Just call us if anything happens. We're thinking something's going to be going on tonight. I'm like, cool. So they told CJ before they left, they were like, run her a bath, let her relax. She really just needs to relax right now and prepare for tonight, because she needs all the rest she can get, because she's probably going to be giving birth sometime tomorrow. Y'all. So they leave. As soon as they leave, my bath is like ready within minutes. And so CJ's like, okay, let's get up out of, the bed. Let's get in your bath. Y'all, I get in that bath. As soon as I get in that bathtub, I'm like, oh my gosh, something in my body shifted. And later I realized me resting in the bed, having my body propped up the way that my doula had my body propped up, it kicked me into labor. And it's so funny because we were doing all these exercises, nothing worked. But when I laid down for like 15 to 20 minutes and was propped up and chilling, that's when labor came. Because I got into that bath, y'all, and I tried to put on some worship music. I think I tried to put on some like Maverick City worship music. And I was like, Lord, this ain't it. This is not it. I was immediately like, I could feel a shift in my body. I don't know how to explain it, but I just knew. So I was like, get me out of this water. It was like something about being in the water was irritating me. I was just like, I need to get out. So I immediately got out of the water. And as soon as I got out of the water, contractions started coming fast. Like they were timed. So we called my midwife. Keep in mind, her and my doula had just left. They were like by now they were like halfway on the other side of town. So we called them. CJ called them and he's like, yo, I think she's in labor now. Like it seems like something has changed. So, they asked the typical questions like, well, blah, 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 blah. Well, watch your contractions, blah, blah, blah. Well, they were on their way back. So it took them like an hour to get back to me. By the time they got to me, I was, she checked me. I was far more dilated. I don't remember how far though. And she was like, oh, wow. Like this escalated very quickly. I was in full blown labor. So we had the pool blown up and everything. But by the time that I was in labor, labor came fast. And I ended up saying, forget it. I will deliver this baby on my bed. And y'all will see in these videos, like I always say to this day, CJ helped me birth this baby because I needed him at every contraction. I was like, my body was draped over him. He helped me through every single contraction. The things that helped me the most that he was doing is letting me drape over his body. And he was just praying in the spirit in my ear. That really helped me get through those contractions. That 20 minutes that I was propped up in bed that made me go into labor was the only rest that I had gotten because I was so stressed that I hadn't had this baby yet. So by the time I was in labor for like even just an hour, I was exhausted. And y'all know those who have had kids and gone through labor, it's exhausting. You're having a freaking baby. So anyways, y'all can see in these videos, I still crack up so much at these videos because I look like I'm going through through it. I looked so upset. Contraction part that led up to the pushing was very quick. Like I said, very quick, like within, I think that they got back to me around 9 something. I'm trying to remember. I think that they got back to me around 9 at night, closer to 10. And my contractions before pushing, before I was fully effaced and fully dilated, was like an hour. It was real quick. Well, I don't know if that's quick or not. It seems quick to me because of my previous birth, but maybe y'all, that's long. I'm not sure, but it was quick to me. And that went really short. And I guess I'm comparing it to the other side of when I actually started pushing. I pushed for, like I said in the beginning, over 2 hours. And with my first baby, with Zara, I was induced. I went also pushed for 2 hours. And after the 2 hours, I decided to get a C-section. I'll have to do another video on Zara's birth. I have no videos from that day, but I can still tell you guys about it and how the C-section went. But anyways, so I pushed for 2.5 hours with Aria. And another reason why I say that CJ helped me birth this baby, because you can see in the videos the contraption that eventually my midwife made. She took a sheet and made 2 knots at the end like a rope. She gave CJ one side, she gave me another side, and he pulled the rope every time I had a contraction. He pulled the rope so that I could crunch up, because by this time I'm exhausted. I can barely crunch up anymore. So he pulled the rope to crunch me up a little bit, and then my doula was at some point pushing my back end so that I can crunch while I pushed. And that is what finally got this baby out, you guys. And it was so crazy. I'm gonna do a smaller video of asking CJ questions about our birth. He's not here with me right now recording this, but he has a completely different version to this story. I think he was a little bit traumatized because first of all, this was the first time he was experienced watching me actually give birth since I did a C-section last time. And then also we were in our house and we were on our bed. And so it was a little, I think it was way out of his head of what a birth would be like. It was way out of both of our expectations. But would I do it again? 100%. I am not sure that I will ever go back to a hospital or any type of facility outside of my home unless it is an emergency situation in birth. And my midwife was such a great midwife, you guys. She told me going through this stage before I birthed, when we were having our appointments and things, she said, look, I'm going to know that you need to be in a hospital long before it is an emergency. She was like, so at any point during your birth, if I say, hey, we're going to have to go to the hospital, that's just what I'll do. And I trusted her and I believed her. And actually, you guys, I was pushing, and the baby was not coming out. At one point, I did a different position. I got on like a squatting position, and to see if we can if that would help Aria drop. She did not like that position whatsoever. Her heart rate dropped. She was not having it. So my midwife did have to have that conversation with me. She said, if we cannot get this baby's heart rate back up and back regulated, you will have to go to the hospital. At that moment, you guys, we switched me back into the being on my back position. And she was like, okay, she was like, I'm going to give it one more contraction and push. Like if the baby's heart rate doesn't come back up, you're going to have to go to the hospital. I said to God, I literally was like, God, I'm having this baby at home. Like, get this baby out. I'm not going to the hospital. I did not want any part of a hospital. And like I said, I'll do another video of how my birth went with Zara to tell you why I did not want to go back to the hospital. But anyways, after that prayer, after I said, God, help me get this baby out, I do not want to go back to the hospital. You guys, that baby's heart rate came back up and I was able to push that baby out. So I just thank God for that. I thank God for this whole experience. It wasn't like what we thought, but birth never is. That's pressure. There's lots of pressure, y'all. Lots of pressure. Let's see if we can get her. Oh!
Come on.
Can somebody turn it off for me?
Yes. Yes. Push, push, push. Thank you, Jesus.
All right, we got ahead. All righty. All right, take a breath. Take a breath.
Okay.
You got another push?
Yes.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Come on.
Come on.
Keep going.
Come on.
Do not stop.
Come on.
Come on.
Come on. Come on.
It's all right. It's all right.
Is your hand out?
Yes, it is.
Praise the Lord.
Try to reach down and
Praise
feel.
the Lord. No, I can't
Okay.
push again because it's the pressure.
Keep pushing. She's coming.
Oh, yeah, she's out. She's out.
Keep going.
She's out. There she is. Oh, my God.
Come on, kiddo. Come on, kiddo. Okay, keep pushing. Lord, you gotta push your legs out too. There we go. Okay. All righty. All right. Oh, her. She didn't even take long to cry. There she goes. All right.
Hi, sweetie.
Woo. All right.
She a big old song. Oh, so good.
Woo, Brittany.
Yeah, so that's how my birth story went. It's so crazy to me to think that I just had our baby on my bed. But like I said, I had a way better experience at home than I did in the hospital. And that was just right for me. And I think that it's really important that when women are giving birth, that they're able to be in a safe space, that they are comfortable with their provider, with the people around them in the area that they are. It is so important for the child for the mother to be in the most relaxing space she can be while giving birth. It also creates the best environment for the baby. And I don't know. That's all I have to say. I am really curious to see if you guys have any specific questions about this. I know I've never talked about my birth before, but I did go through some postpartum stuff, and you guys know that I'm really terrible with editing videos. I have so much content, and I'm really trying to just get our content out there. So that's why it's a year and a half late. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, comment below if you have specific questions for me, for CJ, just about the whole process. We would love to create as much content we can on this. All right.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh my goodness. Isn't she?
Anymore. No, she's here. So when people ask you, you can say she's here.
Go.